When I returned to Baker Street from a short holiday in the spring of 1891, I had seen little of Holmes for some time. I saw in the papers that he had been engaged by the French government upon a matter of supreme importance, but I could hardly foresee that it would have so violent a consequence. It lies with me now to tell for the first time what took place between Mr. Sherlock Holmes and Professor Moriarty in that fateful year.
Ah, Mrs. Hudson. Has Mr. Holmes returned?
Oh, he has indeed. He came in early, must have been before 7. "Morning, Mrs. Hudson," he says. "Have you anything nice for my breakfast?" As if he hadn't been away for 4 months. You could have knocked me down with a feather.
And he's gone out again, I take it?
Yes, he had his breakfast and then he went out again just after his visitor left.
Visitor?
An elderly gentleman. They had words. I didn't like the look of him. Not at all, I didn't. He had a face like the wrath of God. Should I say the devil?
Indeed.
Where should we open a bottle of the best claret to celebrate Mr. Holmes' return?
Why not?
Very good.
Thank you, Mrs. Hudson.
I learned later that Holmes had survived 3 attempts on his life that very day. But as I waited for him to reappear, Baker Street looked to me as safe and secure as ever.
What is it?
Air guns.
A rather special air gun, in fact. Watson, would you have any objection to drawing the blinds, casually, as if you were alone in this room? Watson, I think you know me well enough to understand that I am by no means a nervous man. But it is stupidity rather than courage to refuse to recognize danger when it is close upon you. Watson, might I have a match?
Holmes, you're hurt.
Scratches, nothing to signify.
You don't look well, Holmes.
Well, I have been using myself rather too freely. I have been somewhat pressed of late.
How pressed?
Well, as I am unable to leave this room until after dark, and then most likely by the way that I came, we do have some time on our hands. Also, I owe you an explanation for my unceremonious departure the last time that we met.
I'll take some notes, if I may.
Oh, by all means. This case, it is unique in the annals of crime. You will recall that it was a cold morning, early in the year, when I last left Baker Street. I had no idea where I was going or who my client was. All I knew that was important and abroad. My destination was the museum in the Louvre in Paris. And my client, none less than the French government.
Surely this Palais du Louvre is near to the very heart of France. It was here that the great Roi Soleil held court, and here that Napoleon Bonaparte was married to the Archduchess Marie-Louise of Austria. Indeed, it is a history lesson in stone.
And now this gallery contains our finest paintings.
Gentlemen, shall we come to the point? I presume the Mona Lisa has been stolen.
Qui le lui a dit? Je vous assure, Monsieur le Ministre, je n'ai absolument rien dit.
When I see two hooks and the place where the Mona Lisa used to hang. And then there's talk of peril and scandal. Yes, now I begin to understand the delicacy of the matter. The Louvre is closed on Mondays for maintenance. The fact that the Mona Lisa was not hanging in her usual place was put down to the fact that she was in the photographic studio. It was only later in the day that a workman found the frame in a little storeroom under the Salon Carré.
We put the glass over the painting only a month ago. We feared an acid attack. There was such a one in Florence recently.
How very fortunate.
Pardon?
2 good thumbprints.
Many artists come here to make copies of the paintings.